Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, in today's video, we've got some interesting stuff to have a look at. So, I posted this YouTube video yesterday, and this video was essentially my take on why TFD is suffering. Content, balance, community was a big part of it, were the main topics I went over. So, yeah, that was that. Okay. So let's read the comments, because you know the comments, do you know what they are? They are absolute cinema. So, let's start off with the pin comment. This was a pin of shame, by the way. Do the players who actually enjoy this game a favor and stop playing TFD. Okay, I will quit. I'll quit. You're one of the biggest problems with this game. Most players aren't playing 10 hours a day. We have lives and are 100% content with the direction of this game. You know what? Dingo Badman, you're right, bro. TFD is my favorite free-to-play sexual content looter shooter, nudity, sci-fi, co-op, adventure, RPG, third-person shooter, online co-op, combat, story-rich game. I can't believe this. I'm quitting, guys. I can't do this anymore, bro. I don't. Who the fuck? Okay, listen. Who agrees with this man? Go. Who agrees with this man? Who agrees with him? You want me to quit? Yeah. Okay. Sure. We have lives and are 100% content with the direction on this game. Nobody is agreeing with this. Who is we? Send him to the Philippines? That ain't me. Yeah, bro. 100% content with the direction of the game? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That does no. I don't have an opinion when I don't play 10 hours a day. Bro, listen, even if you are a man or a woman with a 9 to 5, with every other aspect of your life being as normal as possible, right? That does not mean that you have any excuse to not be on the same level as myself in the game. I play the game for like a few hours more than you a day. Let's say that as an example. Or I play the game 5-6 hours in one day. Okay? But that does not mean just because you play the game an hour or two a day that you have any excuse to not learn the exact same things that I am going to learn. And then, you know, catch up. There's nothing wrong with that. You've got time. Use it the same way I'm using it. Or use it however you please. But same time, saying that people aren't playing 10 hours a day is the reason that they're not caught up is not an excuse, because you can make one build on majority of characters and that will basically take you to the end of the game. So let's read the 42 replies. Dude buys Ancestor mods for $200 and then cries everything is too OP. That's because balance should exist in the game. I don't know if you know what balance is, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Some of the like 4,000 caliber is insane. TFD content is good as skins. This is what YouTube does. What this YouTuber does is no different to what any other content creator does. The game simply sucks. There is legit nothing meaningful to do because they literally nerf all the content that they put out within 1 week and then buff everything in the game. It makes no sense. Finally, someone with a functioning brain. PvP would put TFD on life support. You don't want PvP in this game. It just would not work well. They wouldn't do full-on PvP type stuff in this game either. And on top of that, it wouldn't be good. PvP is just a stupid idea in this game. Because as soon as it gets going, people are literally going to get one-shotted by Bunny. Or just use high voltage or a Kingsguard Lance and literally get aimbotted. And GG's, you're just going to complain because you won't be able to beat it. PvP in this game is a stupid idea. Stop being stupid. Stop being goo goo gaga. We don't need PvP. Okay? Now shut up. Move on. Next. I don't see the obsession with wanting every game to be PvP. PvP has good games. Go play those. Another smart man. You can create arena PvP and remove abilities. And you can only use PvP weapons of developers' choices. Like the Ancestor mods. It's bad when I haven't touched the game for a season, picked it up at the last day of the season, completed the season in less than 24 hours and got everything. It's kind of sad. That is insane. Yeah, that's insane. That is cooked. So you're missing the whole point of the video. You can say everyone who calls out the gameplay direction has no lives and it's not changing the fact that it's dying. Also playing 10 hours a day is crazy. Yeah. Again, this is a point of view held by a guy who literally has maxed every weapon, every character, and is running through content in 2 to 4 minutes. I'd be fucking mad about the game as well. But the fact that it's free to play, he's making money off the content while actively shitting on it. That's toxic as fuck. Huh? Okay. Because I make money off TFD, I'm not allowed to criticize the game, apparently. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard, bro. I miss toxic, xAlisa. I'll ban your ass. You'll see how toxic I am then. Because he makes money off a free-to-play game and shits on it. Just because a game's free-to-play doesn't mean that you have to be nice to it. Bro, a free-to-play game can be utter shit. You're not going to play it if it is. Simple. And he mentioned people who post subpar builds for others to use. His views on the game shape how others see it as well. Okay, if my views shape how others see it, you'd understand that this is all coming from a place of love for the game. I want the game to be better so it starts doing better itself. Not because I want the game to die. That's insane. That's contradicting as fuck. Of course I'd critique anything if I put loads of time and effort in. Exactly, yeah. If I eat a shitty tasting burger, I have a right to criticize it? Exactly. Bro, even if someone gives you a free meal in a restaurant, you're not just going to be like, this is the best meal I've had if it tastes like fucking sandpaper. Like, you know what I mean? People don't understand when you criticize something, you actually like it and you want it to do better. Yeah, it's insane. And bro, at the end of the day, even if I'm making money off the game, that's not a reason. Because realistically, every man and woman... every man or woman goes out, works a job, works in an office, works in a labor job, works in a warehouse. We all gotta bring money home at the end of the day. The only difference is you might do it one way and I do it in a different way. That is literally it. And he mentioned people who post subpar builds for others to use. I didn't say anyone by name, and I know it's very clear when I look at stuff because I've done the testing myself. From an average person standpoint, if you don't test one mod versus another, then you'll think the other one is fine, when you could be missing out on a lot of damage, or just missing out on something that can change the setup drastically. And that's the sort of stuff I do. I optimize every single mod so I can post the best builds I can find, and show people how to use them, and so on and so forth. That's literally what I do. So yes. There's big time YouTubers that made a single video shitting on TFD. xAlisa makes content for the game with builds. You can say whatever he wants for real. Yeah. Who's upvoting these stupid comments? People who agree with this person. You have a point and it's unbalanced though. He isn't saying anything different from what people have already been saying about this game. Is he not supposed to speak on the game because he makes bread from it? I'm definitely not seeing the point. The stuff about bad builds is kind of toxic, but at the same time, he's not wrong. Is bad builds make something hard, hard thing gets nerfed, cakewalk through the new thing, and that encourages super speedrun nature of this game. Because if you want annihilating everything, it's worthless to run. The game has a massive power gap for damn near half a year. Not even half a year, an entire year, literally. And everything's been bought up to Serena. Still hasn't been fully brought up to where Serena is, funnily enough. A lot of people will be like, yeah, this Descendant can do this one thing faster than Serena. They're better. No, they're not. No, they're fucking not. They still haven't added anything engaging in the gameplay loop. Speaking about how broken she is, she hasn't gotten a buff and she's still top tier and everything. Imagine how pointless it was playing anything when she released. Yep, 100%. Alpha, bro, give this man a medal, bro. He's cooking. There were bad builds in Breach everywhere. The devs can't create any engaging content because the content they created to is destroy everything. They spent most of the year rebalancing everyone and they didn't add anything different. People leave the game because it's the same old. Hearting it. He's spitting. All they need to do is add PvP. Somebody throw something at this man, please. They need to add some sort of survival mission like Warframe where the enemies get harder the longer you go. We're hoping Onslaught mode is going to be this, but we don't know because from my guess, Onslaught is just going to be Axion. And the Kingsguard Lance and Serena is just going to trivialize everything. So yeah, we'll see. They need to do what DE did. Change teams, put members in charge of the people in charge of who know what they are doing. Assuming Nexon have people that know what they're doing working on this game is a very bold assumption. But if they do, please do that. Because, yeah, genuinely, it would be a good thing. And Wolfram's in a better place. I'm glad to hear the game's doing good. I feel like roughly 50 runs of the new content, get the new guns for a season would be fine. The grind of materials dropping so small, it takes like 200 plus runs is stupid. I can understand that, and I do kind of agree with that, but at the same time, bear in mind, if we take this from a time perspective, 50 runs of the new dungeon that can be completed very easily in under 2 minutes would mean 100 minutes, which is less than 2 hours, to get everything maxed out. I think the way that the dungeons are is fine. A lot of people don't like the new resource, which is something they could consider scrapping. But same time, you got to think about it from a time perspective. And if you optimize, that's the way you should be looking at it the most. I'd say in a perfect optimized scenario, you look at how fast it is. And then you take or add 2 minutes, a minute and a half to the run. So about 3.5 minutes, and it goes up to about 3-4 hours, which again I think is too short for a new dungeon, especially the new dungeon that we have, Legion Lab. The moment you run Legion Lab and you've gotten the sword, you're not running it again, unless you're running it for the weeklies, because it's the fastest mission out of all the Axion ones. So I think there's a definite different layer of balance that needs to be added in. Let's be real, this game is still around because there isn't much competition with equally good-looking characters on the market. If another game came out with a similar art style, TFT would be cooked. You know what, Kyle? I'm going to have to disagree with you. The early game of this game has a lot of heart in it, or it had a lot of heart in it. It's just that once you reach the mid to end game, they just don't know what they're doing, in my opinion. No matter which mission it is, it has the same loop. Every character feels the same. Everyone's just another AoE dealer, and every character's body looks the same. Yeah, they recycle models. I hate how they chose to oversimplify the game mechanics instead of refining mechanics that the preseason had to offer. I agree with this one too. Check some of the response. The devs don't listen. Players have wanted enemies that feel weighty and solid with mechanics. We had that with huge maps full of trash mobs, and they feel like they made us on paper. More isn't always better. No wonder people don't want to replay those missions once they've gotten what they wanted. Yeah, essentially. This is what Purge used to be. Purge used to be this, but then people didn't want mechanics and it got nerfed. Good looking character, you mean Gunner outfits? The character models look bare minimum. Yeah. It's cooked. One thing I'll say, for a game supposedly about skins and social, there isn't much chances to show them off or reason to speak to other fellow descendants. You'd think pursuing this avenue would mean non-retro customization, cutscenes, hangout spaces, and things to do in those hangout spaces, player characters and NPC interaction, mini-games, or hell, even the collabs are the bare minimum possible with no unique events that aren't killing and farming. Yeah, essentially, like, you could have done mini games and stuff like that in the lounge and made the lounge like something that's not in the Albion and made it a full-on home. I would have probably spawned into my own lounge every single time if I could do every single thing in the Albion, but just from the lounge, because I don't want to run around a million places to do the same thing. But yeah. There's so much that they can do with it, and there's little things that they've added into Reason to Hangout. World Chat is the only interactability between players 2 years in. And if you look at World Chat for more than 10 seconds, you'll realize why they aren't adding any more, bro. World Chat is the problem. I'm literally walking on a treadmill, watching a football game whilst playing TFD on a treadmill. If you think this man is joking, BZ Man is not joking. I know he literally does this. So I don't fall asleep doing missions over and over. I want the Ancestor mod, so it's like an easy chore at this point. I just do the 3 Ancestor mod drop missions, close game, and I've even stopped doing weeklies. Yeah, he's not lying. How right you are, skins are not content. The devs haven't got a clue what they're doing. Yep. This game makes me feel like I'm in a hamster wheel. This game made me rethink my life choices. Or cooked. Actually cooked. There's no replay loop, it's just farm the dungeon, farm that dungeon. Trading's extremely limited. Yeah, if trading wasn't as limited, it could be a bit better. Even though other things on the market, like farmable descendants and stuff like that, would basically have no value. At least I could give my 500, like my 1,000 plus Serena sets to new players. Bro, I could probably give a Serena set to almost all of the people in the game who have started recently. Oy. I hate Sigma. I love Sigma. The game made the game too easy and players still can't figure it out. Last but not least, players with mathematical skills like WoW didn't realize how many people didn't understand decimal conversions. He's talking about the Ancestor mods. I don't blame him. I love the gameplay of Noise Edge Luna. Never seen anything like Guitar Hero Plus in a looter shooter. I think it's brilliant. The problem is that the game lacks content. Story feels too slow. Where are all the characters? How come all the characters don't have their quests yet? How come we've been stuck on Axion for ages? Their philosophy with Season 3 was they want you to do nothing but Axion. realizing Axion had 5 missions, or sorry, 8 unique missions, including the bike races. Yeah, this is what they said when season 3 released, like 8 months ago, something like that. They said that basically they want players to do every single thing in Axion, and that's why they've made Axion capable of doing literally everything in the game. Catalyst, you can get them in Axion. Or every single descendant and every single weapon in the game, you can get them in Axion. Every single thing, the Ancestor mod, Superconductive, all in Axion. So that was their design philosophy. They wanted you to live in Axion. A map that was already boring and ugly at release, and yet tons of new skins released every month that don't benefit anyone except a few whales. Unironically, if we had as much content as skins, this game would be fine. But yeah, that's cooked. Ironically, every character gets individual skins as though they exist in real life. They'd wear the same size clothes because they're all identical Barbies and Kens. No playable robots. No short people. Yeah, I want to play a midget descendant. No overweight people or no very tall people. Or how about an alien who wants to help humanity as a playable character? Simple concepts which would work very well, I think. I'd love playing as a gingered midget in this game. But jokes aside, an alien would be a cool idea. I also think it's a shame that they're focusing too much on character modules. Especially when Luna's modules could have been a member of an entire band. A singer that deals damage, a shy girl who replaces support Luna. Nobody is ever replacing support Luna. She's too busted. I'm not excited for Ultimate Esmo or Ultimate Ines. Why don't they add Ines's older brother or sister, for example? Because then they have to make a new model for it and sell it as another descendant. It's because they don't want to keep spamming character releases because they know their balance is fucked. They know their balance is fucked. And if they keep spamming character and descendant releases, it's going to essentially just make this a million times worse for them. Imagine after Serena came out, we got new descendants every 2 or 3 months. GG's. They'd have no fucking hope. They'd have no hope. Have you noticed that they're removing content? The dailies weren't replaced by 400%. They were already there. They just created a new menu for the dailies. Yeah. Eckert stuff, yeah, the Eckert stuff's pain. Not saying that this isn't the devs' fault, but I'm pretty sure they decided to play it safe and create the same gameplay loop when the dumbass community complained that they couldn't match 4 symbols or 3 colors. Yeah. They're gonna Control-C, Control-V a character onto the next model like a Goo Goo Gaga. Yep. TFD devs, my friends. TFD devs. The game dies off very hard after you finish everything and get a few descendants maxed out. I'll come back if they make Caliber earnable, which they won't. You can technically earn Caliber, but it's RNG gated because I love RNG. I actually do love RNG, but yeah, RNG gated. Or it can get annoying when you have Mr. Speedrunner and Mrs. Meta in your run. I understand that you don't like the meta, but at the same time, you kind of have to expect the meta in like almost every public run because it's meta for a reason. I think the problem with Dungeon also stands to the game's poor optimization. Making an 8-player raid will simply down in lags and stutters. Devs are trying to add random events to the gameplay, but it's not working very well at the moment. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this as well. I played for the first 6 months when it came out, disappeared, I went back for 2 months, now it's very fun. If you've played the game a total of 3 months, you've not spent enough time to catch up to full on everything. I would say, at least from the first 6 months of this game, like they just about added cores into there. Yeah, you're right.
Support Alyssa, I can only say that I'm extremely disappointed.
Real, but what's it called? Yeah, this is like just before Cores came out, before Purge came out, or around then, and disappeared and went back for 2 months now. Yeah, if you do all of that, then it'd be kind of cooked. Underlevel led players, I help them. We need more players helping them, and it helps them stay and get stronger. Yeah, I can agree. When there's newer players that do need help, that's fine. But if I find a new player, an actual new player in like Legion Lab, I'm gonna be like, what are you doing here? A catalyst in every slot and an RK40. RK tree level 40 is a lot for a casual employed father of 2 to stay with the game. I still think that is fair. I can understand that. But at the same time, the realistic truth is if you've not got a catalyst in every slot, your build is not optimized. Level 40 RK tuning takes like an hour and a half with boosters, or 2 hours, 3 hours without boosters. Sorry, 4 hours without boosters. But having a level 40 RK tuning is a bare minimum in my opinion. A catalyst in every single slot, again, is a bare minimum. I can understand that, you know, if you've got other priorities in life and stuff like that, that's fair. But at the same time, if you lock in, you know what you need to do, and just put your time into it, you will catch up. And like I said, you can make the same build or the one build with one descendant and clear the entire game with it. So I understand, but I also kind of disagree. Your one-man army point is spot on. I believe the game started with team in mind and then accidentally went in with combo skills. It's cool when it does happen, but it's not necessary. Other options make enemies super duper strong, forcing methodical play like in a team in 1.0 when everyone was underleveled, or due to difficulty, reduce repetitive play with with far higher rewards. That's TFD. Got it. I agree with the reward stuff, but yeah, that's cocked. As a person who also plays Warframe, replay value is similar in Warframe from the way that it works. Just because there isn't level and frames to level up, you've got cities, factions, you've got Deimos, you've got Eidolon, you've got Fortuna, you've got Lil Duck, Konzu, Quill Encore, you've got loads of other stuff. You've got Grandmother, Daughter, Mother, and Deimos and stuff like that too. Archimedean stuff as well. With Warframe, you've got lots of faction stuff too. So yeah, that makes sense. Multiple NPCs with their own things to level up keeps you busy and active. Once you catch up on them, you can basically do everything though, so that's fair. There's a lot of that to level up because of that ever-changing tiles. Yeah, the ever-changing tile sets is a very big thing. Because TFD will forever have the same tile sets. In most content. The only content that has more than one tile set is Void Vessel 1, and that is the worst vessel. Vessel 2 isn't changing tile sets. Majority of the other stuff is not changing tile sets, but this is cooked. So what do most of them do after you complete the story? Stand around? Pretty much, yeah. That's what they do. They do make Sortie, a Netracell, Archimedia Loop, reward stuff like Ancestor Mods, items, gradual stat buffs to install Archon Shards, visual rewards, and tradable resources and blueprints for Caliber. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but at the same time, it wouldn't work in this game, especially not with the power scaling. Remember, Archon Shards will buff your Viessa, they'll buff your Nellon, they'll buff your Harris, but they have to buff your Serena as equally. That's just how it is. Vessel 1 is shit, yeah. The devs mentioned about giving TFD more content and less skins, maybe twice from now, just from my memory, and the game is still being the same. Axiom was the only time we had new things to do, and now they just add one dungeon/mission every update, and we're expected to grind the hell out of it, whilst there's always going to be skins in the same update. For a game that uses Destiny as its inspiration, it's lacking fundamentals. As a former Destiny player, I understand why Bungie gatekeeps their content on a weekly basis. It made sense from a certain perspective despite its formulaic nature. That's fair. Giving them a chance with this season, but if nothing changes, I'm putting this game down and trying Warframe. You should try it. It's not going to disappoint. I even boot up Division 2 and had a blast playing the game recently. Repetitive, but the replayability made it better. That's a W, man. I'm glad you're enjoying your stuff. Going back and playing older games can give you a little bit of a nice feeling, can't it? I've been playing Warframe since 2016, the true endgame for like this most of the time. Wait for updates, hope for the devs that release more content. Also fashion frame. TFT is the same, you've reached the end of the game, so all that's left to do is collect stuff and max everything out. I don't think this is another thing as well. A lot of people don't realize that when it comes to TFD, right, I have done the level of completion that 99.9% of this player base will never achieve. I've 60 catted every descendant. I have over 10 to 15 catalysts in every single weapon. Every single weapon has multiple copies, as well as full gold cores on everything. I have good/god ancestor mods for every single descendant as well. All trees done. All skins for Bunny, at least. But majority of skins as well. I've spent lots of money on this game. And the level of completion I've reached is stuff that casual people will probably not even reach if the game lives another 10 years, bro. So, like, you know what I mean? Maybe 10 years is a stretch, but you know what I mean. And collect stuff and max everything out. Literally done it. Literally done it. I see a future for this game, and I hope to live it, sees it. I just don't see a future happening with this game, especially with this developer team. These devs are killing the game. Whether you want to admit it or not, they do not know what they've got in their hands, and they are slowly poisoning the game with every update. might do one thing good, but they'll do two things bad. And overall, that is a step back. Something all-inclusive that anyone can do anytime would make people run endgame and give zero shits if they're being thrown into it. I think this goes along, old is old, but new is better. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I hope the devs show some direction with the update calendar, but it's going to take some time. The real killer is power creep and the game's overall blandness. Every mode is the same. Every mod is the same. I'm about the same. I stopped from 15 to 25 catalysts. I never saw a point to put more than that in the Descendant. Yeah, that's fair. Even that is still incredibly valid. Even if you've got 20 cats in every Descendant, you're still pretty much done. I don't know what they did to ambush transmod for Sharon, but it no longer works in matches. Wait, what? It works in testing ground, but when you go into a match, the moment you pull invisibility or hit something, you don't stay invisible. Have they cooked Sharon again? They might have. These days, my friends were talking about the exact example you mentioned when you were in Purge. I miss having synergy within groups, supporting each other to get the best time possible. Just not possible with Serena anymore. People will legit get mad at you for calling this out, but the game is going more and more downwards because they keep catering to these last few players who want this super repetitive loop and skins to buy. Whenever Season 4 drops, we'll definitely see if it's time to call it for this game, not gonna lie. That's a fair take. I'm not gonna sit here and try arguing with someone or try convincing them to stay because, yeah, he's got a very good point. Farming everything is literally a job. Every time there's a new weapon or descendant or a new material Y, even then the amount we need is too much. Artificial inflation essentially, because the main thing is they don't want me or they don't want other people to drop a video a few hours after the update and say the new weapon is shit, because then other players aren't going to feel incentivized to do it. I still get the weapon within a few hours. Take Dire update, for example. I got Dire 60 catted 5 hours after the update came out. The other stuff like that is the same shit. The new dungeon got the sword within literally an hour of the release and maxed it out 5 hours after release and uploaded the video, I think 5 or 6 hours after the release of the update. So same thing. A lot of the things you kind of just need to know how to farm effectively and have one good setup and you're basically bowling. If you don't want to use one setup, invest in 3-4 descendants and you can cycle through them, I guess. The only thing in this, only true farm in this game was Void Vessel 2 swords. Do you know what the funny thing is, Sissy, with that? Even with them swords, I got both of them maxed out 5 out of 5 fusions on day 1. Both swords as well. I've never found a grind in this game that has ever satisfied me. Damn, Purge runs are like 10 times faster now. Yep. You know, nerfs. They tried to do different stuff with inversions, and I hated the symbol tower because of my super shit memory, and some of the symbols being similar. I still played it, and I enjoyed playing. However, people were complaining so bad they had to change it, and they took the challenge out of it. When they did, it was still somehow too difficult, so they made it easier and easier until it was just kill stuff and boss fight. One thing that truly pushes people away are the ones who hop into a public game with an AoE character, kill everything on sight, and don't give people time to collect drops, fight anything, or even get out of the loading screen. Some people are so far behind because the game didn't release on all platforms at the same time. It did? I'm pretty sure it did. Alright, but they just want to get to the end game content, but it's actually just the new content that they want to spend their time doing in game. That's fair. Still enjoying Invasions? This was before. But yeah, Invasions are gone, bro. Invasions being gone is so cooked as well. We literally got Lepic, Dire, and Serena sub 2 minutes on there. Yeah, literally. For starters, I love spending 4 days leveling up a character on arcade tuning. Given that we're expected to dump catalysts by the dozens, leveling process should not take as long as it currently does. See, this is the thing as well. Buff XP gain multiple times or make maximum proficiency 30. Again, Spec Ops takes 5 minutes, 4 minutes per run, and if you use a booster and the external component with RKXP, that's 5 minutes to get to level 40 every single time. Every single time. The game does not need to be easier. You can put 10 catalysts in 5 minutes since when? One in S in the lobby and that's all you need. 4 minutes. 400% gets you up to level 40 as well. I think that depends. But even with 400%, if you do 3-4 of them, that takes you less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes to get to a max rank. And it's investing in catalysts by the dozen. Spec Ops, man. If you're not going to be optimal with what you do, then complain that it's not fast. Yeah, cooked. Buff XP by multiple times. That's called a booster. And another issue is balance. Yep. Too many buffs tailor specific aspects, making buffs more broad and accommodating. Like making certain buffs not exclusive for melee weapons or guns would go a long way in terms of balance. You see, this is not a bad idea, but... This is not a bad idea, but at the same time, if you buff weapons more broadly, it buffs Arena even harder. And the last thing we need is, yeah, more buffs on weapons like that. To allow more characters to be viable, every single Descendant can do every single thing in the game in under 5 minutes. Every single thing. You can even solo Wallcrasher with every Descendant in under 5 minutes. The module is another issue. Half the mods can be condensed into a single mod, allowing more room. We don't need 4 buff type mobs, maybe the 2 basic ones and combine the other one. Huh? Is he saying you only need 2 crit mods? Well, yeah, that's Ancestor. But this is cooked. This would also allow to go towards Catalyst issue. Catalysts aren't an issue, bro. You get a Catalyst from your dailies every day now as well. This is cooked. I was very happy with the game. I just started to stop after the release of Daya. I got her, but I didn't upgrade her. It just feels so boring. I think of this game like Destiny 2 that I used to play a lot. I'm starting to hate that they just reskin enemies with different elements and they're in outer space. We should be seeing new aliens that they need to fight. Skins are nice, but there's only so many places you can show them off in. It's boring. Grab a new game to play and just collect your login dailies and log out of TFD. Unlucky, but that's what it is. I've been saying this since the beginning, but I was labeled as a hater. It'd be like that. This game has 2 options for casual players that want everything fast or people that can play 10 hours a day. I think devs are trying to do both, but it just doesn't work. I don't think they're trying to do both. The acceleration research should be in the base game. I agree with that. The research event should just be a permanent thing. And it feels easy at times, but it's boring doing the same dungeon for hours. Again, optimization. But yeah, I think that they're just accommodating for the people that want everything fast. Because anyone who knows what they're doing has Glare fully built up, or Serena, or even like Ines, Nell, Bunny, other Descendants, can just ratio everything in solo incredibly fast. Like even the new dungeon Legion Lab, I did it in 3 minutes with Bunny, so like, yeah. You can consistently clear everything very fast if you just go solo. And I know a lot of people will be like, I don't want to play solo, but at the same time, it's the fastest, and if you're going to complain about not being able to do everything or get everything immediately fast and that balance is whack, you should be trying solo. I had to sell my Windows PC, I moved to Mac, but I wasn't able to play half a year. I don't miss the game as I left it, but I do miss Purge Race when it first released. That first week was peak TFD when everyone was trying to figure out the best setup to run it, and genuinely every day you'd wake up and you didn't know what the #1 team would be on the leaderboard. This is so real. So real. It's a game about grinding and speedrunning. There's no challenge at all. There should be, and I don't think that fact that it's a grind game means that there should be no challenge. This game, I'm saying this with chest, none of these fucking twits who complain about this game would survive 24 hours in the preseason of this game. I'm saying that with chest. None of these players right now would survive what this game was in preseason, because it was not fucking easy compared to anything of what this game has now. If you don't play day 1, reset the dungeon with matchmaking and just carry 3 people that don't belong there, essentially, yeah. Bro, these players would legit never survive preseason at all. They would not even have a fucking chance. 5-minute outposts? Yeah. 5-minute outposts, 250%, and a good run was considered 8 minutes. It was 30 to 50 runs of 40 to 60 runs of a 250% to get your Descendant to level 40 once. One level up cycle from level 0 to level 40 was between 30 to 60 dungeons, by the way, depending on the dungeon. Back when Spec Ops used to have 30 waves as well. Holy shit, they used to be so much better. I know you see my comment on your other video, I did something in that way, but I appreciate you bringing these kind of topics up to the community. We love TFD and we want it to last long and be a healthy game, but as a community and the developers, we need to get on the same page. I agree with you. We do need to get on the same page, but the delusional people on Reddit Discord and Twitter need to also get their shit together. The real reason we can never ever get on the same page is because the developers would rather cater to the delusional people and the people that want this game to be nothing but a skin simulator. The devs and the delusional people are on the same page. Yes, this is cooked. And realistically, right, if this game was to stop selling skins, this game would die. It would die. And that's just the position they're in. They chose to start catering towards the gooning aspect of this game and the hyper-sexualized aspect of the game to the point where they pushed people away, or normal people, away from this game. If someone was to pitch the first Descendant to me today and I'd never played it, I never ever would have touched this game, ever. Ever would have touched this fucking game, because it's a Guna game. That's just not my thing. When this game released initially, it was nowhere near as bad. They chose their audience and they kind of have to live with it. But once this game, if this game really starts suffering, the first people to jump ship are going to be the ones that don't care about the game, which is going to be the Gunas most likely. Unless they care about the skins that they bought, who cares? But yeah. Amorphous was better when it relied on luck and not speedrun simulators. It was always on speedrun simulator. I missed the game back when you needed a team to kill bosses. The game was so much more fun to play. Yeah. They need to implement a single server system or something like that so we can enjoy the game with the people we've just met. I mean, when farming an Axiom with a cool team, I step away for a few seconds and by the time I come back, they're gone. I find a different team. This is weird. I don't really know how the server works. Why do I always find different players when I switch maps? Yeah, okay. This seems like a newer player. In my opinion, increased difficulty. Make it to where drops are based on difficulty. From other games, take exotics to obtain with dungeons and continuous quest. They should implement something like this. That's what transcendent weapons are going to be, by the way. Transcendent weapons are just going to be like the exotic drop, from my understanding. That can build on story as well. Build variety needs to be a thing. Most of the male characters are always either boring to play or suck. Lepix is broken. Ajax is broken. Enzo is a bit in the middle. Keelan is fun but specialized. Blair is shit. Did I miss anything? Most of the males are good. I think this is just this guy doesn't like male characters. You pretty much build everything the same, like you said. Majority of the stuff, yeah. The only 4 unique descendant types in the game. Estimo and Kyle. Estimo is fun. Kyle is decent as well. Yeah, all the males in this game are okay. The fact that you have to build 5 out of 5 weapons on Core of Fusion and a weapon even if it's a copy. Oh yeah, I remember that, Cynthia. Holy shit. Oh, and Eugen is the dev's favorite. Yeah, 100%. Eugen is so busted. Yeah, Eugen's solid as well. I don't know why every character needs to have a clear build, because if they don't have AoE build, this is the thing. If a character doesn't have an AoE build, they're not relevant in meta. They're never going to be a decent option for groups. If they don't have a nuking build or a high DPS single target build, they'll never be used in bossing. And every single Descendant has both. Every Descendant has a mobbing build and a bossing build. If you release someone now that doesn't have both of them, they're already a failure. Remember, their gunning baseline is Serena, so every single gunner, according to their own baseline, is a failure. Ajax can out DPS Serena in very specific scenarios, but Serena is still better, because those are specific scenarios. Glaze unlimited ammo is so good, but again, it just depends on one weapon. Thunder Cage. Same shit. Still not as good as Serena. You can't do a KGL system with a Glare. You can't do everything else with you can't do Hammer and Anvil full on with Glare. It's not going to nuke everything. And the rest of Serena's kit is just fucking nuts as well, so it goes hand in hand. It's quite fun. I don't know if the game's dying and it's sad because it could have been great. We've got the consistent 3, 4, 5,000 people playing on PC. I think console is about the consistent 3, 4, 5,000 as well. I think there's about 10, 12,000 people playing daily right now. So, yeah. At one point, one of these Descendants should be strong enough for a match for Corel. If we can beat Colossi the way we do this, there should be some serious power-up scaling to the big baddie. Guys, Corel's gonna come out. He's gonna beat people. He's gonna beat the players up, and then Corel's gonna get nerfed, and yeah. Or Serena's just gonna one-shot him with the. Or Serena's just gonna put 6 Kingsguard Lances down, and he's just gonna fucking die. Haley meta when Purge came out with peak times. True. Speedrun parkour with Bunny Vacation Island with beach volleyball like in Dead or Alive. Boss only mods with hardcore colossus fights. With 2 abyss bosses at the same time? Would be sick. If they had a mod like this or a Dead or Alive, they'd be swimming in money. Beach Island with volleyball. This is cooked. But the double abyss boss doesn't sound like a bad idea. You don't nerf the big bad antagonist? They are going to. You say you don't nerf anything, but in this game, if it's content, it's getting nerfed. Descendants never nerf, content nerf. Then you could buff Sharon's third ability more like the arcade bomb. Instead of making it a slow throwing, make an instant impact grenade. Like Batman. Like Batman is crazy, but I respect it. Making her quicker. They did it with her 1, 2, and her 4. Now it's just a 3 left. I think she's fine. You don't need to worry, boss. I wish you peace, but please stop making videos with the title like this. I'm a TFD player since day 1. I was part of that group that criticized the game heavily on its lack of endgame content. 3 months into 2026, I'd say TFD is in a much better spot than it was before. Well, yeah, of course it's going to be better. 100% it is better. For most people, they enjoy the game way more now. So, that's fair. Not perfect, but QOL and daily tasks certainly help with veterans and newbies alike. Fair. Game development takes time, and if they already stated they're committing to fixing the game, nobody has all the time in the world to play this game 24/7. Hello, I'm a content creator. People have a life and obligations to attend to. Okay, this is not even a valid point, man. Even if you play the game for an hour a day, you can still do almost as much in an hour as some people can do in 3-4 hours. Bro, it takes literally less than 5 minutes to run your daily missions. Sigma takes a minute each. Axion takes a minute and a half. If you want to run Vessel, that takes 2 minutes. 400% dungeons, a minute, 2 minutes. Now, if you don't bother with the gold because you don't need it, the dailies take like 2 days, less than 5 minutes. And that includes a wall crasher as well. I see a lot of yapping on the Discord and in-game. Are you making another reading comments video? Yes, sir. I invite them to do stuff together. 9 times out of 10, it's always the motherfuckers with the half-ass builds and mid-tier master rank that don't understand that are like that. Well, yeah, because they don't know what they're doing. This doesn't excuse the devs being shit on updates. True. What are we doing good, sir? Reading the comments on my video for a YouTube video, Scarface. Also 120 watt streak. Giga Chad, bro. I don't understand why you content creators feel the need to announce this game is lacking players. By the way, we didn't do that. Still recording? Yeah, of course. We didn't do that. They are the ones that off their own volition said, guys, we have 2,000-3,000 people on console. It's the same as PC. Nobody told them to tell us that. They went and basically told us that the player base is failing so much harder than what we assumed. By the way, right, but before they announced that, we see like 7,000 people on Steam, and we would always assume that console had double, triple that amount. Like 10,000 people on Xbox, 10,000 people on PS, right? But they're the ones who said to us that, you know, they're the ones who said to us that we have 2,000-3,000 people, guys. Please come back to the game. The fact that he still has stuff to do as a day one player is a skill issue. That's a really good point. That is a really good point. Yeah, so I know, I don't care. We have live, we don't play the game 10 hours a day. Is a outplayed argument. It's a grinding game. If you don't like the game, then the game's not for you. Kind of, yeah. Or if you can't keep up or you don't want to optimize your time for the grind, then yeah, you can't complain about anything then, in my opinion. We need to add some true open world stuff with rare spawns, rare drops, completely change the gear system. Cosmetics. I want it to be an MMO. It wants to be an MMO, so it should be like an MMO in my opinion. That's fair. Still recording? 44 minutes going strong, bro. The scenery changes? Yep. We're saying to a friend recently that we need new mods in the game. New mods in the game? No, because they release 6 new mods every update. What they need is an actual overhaul. But yeah, like they need to expand upon everything in their modding system. What I mean by that is we've not had another grappling mod since the release of the game. Where's like elemental grapple? You know, change it so that your grapple stuff can literally be used as a whip to like flipping slam towards mobs or something. Give it elemental damage. Make it a fire whip, a fire grapple, something like that. Even that would be cool. Add mods for like speed, velocity. When you grapple or when you grapple flick, you have faster speed or you have more momentum. Stuff like that would even be a decent option. Alright, that's enough cat, bro. Just admit you killed the game. I can't stop killing the game, bro. Looter shooters aren't made to be played all day. Huh? The main purpose of a looter... The main purpose of a looter shooter is to create a compelling long-term gameplay loop centered on killing enemies. Is this guy real? 7 likes! I enjoy the game because I can get home from work and play an hour or two if something is new and I'm farming. Maybe shitposting well chat a little, but if I wanted a hardcore game, I'd go for an MMO or something. Yeah, this is cooked. A fellow world chat resident. I've been at the end of the game. It's impossible to play looter shooters, but TFD is probably the worst end game I've ever experienced. Bro, this game is actually doomed. These are the players, bro. We're cooked. I'll say the game doesn't do a good job of letting players know the expected level of gear for each various game mode, and it's a shame that certain activities become outgrown so quickly. Looking at U250s, valid, but they need to make an incredibly high barrier. They don't need to make an incredibly high barrier either. The game's a power fantasy. It only became a power fantasy after Serena, to be fair. Before Serena, the game once upon a time was balanced. Hot chick / hot dude mowing down tons of goons on their way over to the big bad. Having uber geared forks able to carry undergeared players is a plus in my book, but it wouldn't hurt to have an additional difficulty level for the true power players, so long as it's not the same gear or something that's available there. Give a maximum number of runs per week and a weekly reset for that week so they can try getting the best time for some cosmetic or time saving reward. Yeah, that's what Abyss is. Kill the maiden as fast as you can for a medal and get the clothes from the shop. I hope this guy finds the most suitable game for him, like Doki Doki Literature Club. Don't insult Doki Doki, that's too a high IQ for this man. That comment was so disgustingly false, and I'm a TFD player. Hardcore MMO players just want to jock it to 100 TFD gameplay. I stopped 2 weeks ago, maybe I'll come back for the new season, but not now. You're doing yourself a favor. They could make a race dungeon whilst you ride your bike and fight. Dodging obstacles, they could do a million creative things. High potential, but they don't know. Too high price to deliver content because small team, I guess. Something like that. Mechanics when? Mechanics when? Most of the ultimate modules are useless and they don't offer enough punch, period. Especially for the downsides of the condition proc rate that they have. Again, true. My block list is 100 out of 100. Always blocking people that join under-equipped, and I don't want to start a war. But it's 80% console, 20% Steam split pattern. Yeah. Yeah. I've thought that they should give more incentive to use the lounge. In RuneScape, your house has purpose, crafting, teleportation, healing. TFD should do the same, like the research reduction for the number of figurines or descendants you have in the lounge. Huh? Am I dumb? Am I stupid? Huh? Research time reduction for the amount of figures you have in your lounge. Huh? City, is this your... Character buffs based on where they are positioned in the lounge. This guy is from a separate timeline? Bro, that makes so little sense in this game. All the lounge serves as a pointless money sink that serves no purpose. Yes, the developers themselves inherently... The developers themselves inherently mentioned that they regretted in this last year or at the end of year post, they said that they regretted allocating resources to the wrong things. Cough, cough, the lounge, cough, cough. Because I don't like to say bad things towards my viewers, man, but fuck me. Guys, I might need to get myself sanctioned after this. I spoke nothing but facts, and I wish they'd had a raid system. But making it where certain characters might be a little bit better than others and mix it around. Yeah, give like specific characters buffs in like specific tile sets and stuff. I know we're just gonna do the range and ask for nothing but the strongest descendants and not the other ones, so you can actually have fun. Yeah, you're right, homie. 10 out of 10, 10 catalysts on a descendant, need a trigger mod, that's the minimum. 8 catalysts for a 400%, 10 cats if you got actually on a harder. True. Then they release Lounge 2. No, not Lounge 2. Guys. They believed in the Lounge so much, they announced Lounge 2. They announced Lounge 2 before Lounge 1 had even fucking released. That's how much faith they had in the Lounge. Bro. We're cooked. We are doomed. We are actually doomed. Lounge 2 was the thing before Lounge 1 even came out, literally. Let's nuke the Lounge. Maybe not a bad idea. Lounge 3 soon? Imagine. The goon haunts you? Please don't curse me, Kamisi. I got back into the game for a week and I realized there isn't anything to do besides collect everything, which isn't a reason I play games like this, lol. Yeah. Is it actually losing players? Looking at Steam charts, it jumps on new content releases, then it settles back down to 5k over time. 5k has been a recent. Before the Dire update, it was 4k. The player count goes down slowly over the long term, but the content comes out frequently enough to incentivize players to actually hop back in. Updates will bring people back, but maintaining them is the hard question because you can't maintain them if you have fuck all to do. Started the game a week ago and having a blast. Hope they keep it up and don't let it die like Destiny. A portal system from Diablo 3 would be cool. That's fair. I'm a Warframe player and been playing this game recently. In my opinion, add a scenario where we do stuff. At the moment, there's materials for Ancestor mods. Give them a new tile set with cinematics, for example. In Warframe, there's something new to grind. An open map, new dialogue. It gives it a new cinematic look. That's fair. I'm playing the game for 7 weeks and I maxed everything out, all descendants, all weapons of 4 fusions. Max mass strength. From what they've seen so far, they've tried to keep an active player base by daily login events and mini events. The updates are way too small, so we got a new dungeon, which you grind 50 times and never visit again. Same goes for other content. A new game mode is fine, but it will be the same formula. Endless tower idea would just be void purge, but with floors instead of rooms. Go to this area and kill X. I would like to see some other things like guilds, big raids with multiple bosses, and some actual mechanics involved. More social aspects, but for me, my gameplay is non-existent now. You just log in for some dailies and come back to the next patch. This, man, is true. 7 weeks to finish TFD is fair. Honestly, cinematics may not be bad there. Yeah, for sure. Because, guys, if you know what you're doing, when I started my alternative account, right, when I went on my alt account, because I knew what I was doing, I cleared my brand new account from the beginning of TFD to Legion Lab in 27 hours of me playing on that account. You can finish TFD in literally less than 2 days. And if you only want to focus on speedrunning through content just to get to the top content, you can get to that in less than 1 day, in less than 24 hours, if you know what you are doing. So yeah. I haven't played much since Ancestor mode, but I've been jumping in, and I've been liking the new sword, but everything else looks the same. I'm just mostly waiting for Onslaught. Again, fair. I agree with Alyssa and most people in the comments. Personally, I think the main problem for this game is respecting the community. I don't mean you who are watching the video. I mean the 500 Dyers and Serenas you find in every single place because they can't play a normal, unbroken character. As a player that came back recently after leaving when Haley came out, the first thing I realized was how unbalanced the game felt. Late game content was hard because I was using an outdated build for Bunny, but as soon as I got Serena everything with level 1, the devs won't balance the game because the community are playing broken characters more and more for them. And that's what charts, and that's what matters. Since they don't balance, it's clear since they don't play their game. This is someone who said that they were using an outdated build and just came back. But yeah, GG's. Maybe the best we can do right now is play with unbalanced descendants to force them to balance the game. He doesn't know that we've been doing that for literally a year. Poor man. Can't wait to see 4 Serena Kingsguard Lances in Onslaught. I can't wait for Onslaught to get absolutely fucking ruined by 4 Serenas with a Kingsguard Lance. Yeah, literally, it's gonna happen. There's a TFD. Potato, my god. You don't need 10 catalysts in all weapons and descendants to be making a functional build. Yeah, but that's for like lower content. And run endgame? Nope, never mind. This man's opinion is invalid. He said you can run endgame without 10 catalysts. Removing mechanics may have been a mistake. I said that for a very long time. I never understood the nerf your gameplay for me crowd of people. Yeah, I don't get it either. The only reason I say that is because in endgame, you want the most damage. You have literally zero reason to not run the most damage, because you're going to need it. To be honest, but you don't need... But at least every mod slot should be filled is easy enough to set up as a requirement for endgame. What? Does he realize that you can't max out every single mod unless you put like 9 or 10 cats in? With Serena, I feel like they can get away with 4 catalysts for endgame content. They can, yeah. 3 or 4. I've never seen game devs so stubborn to nerf something, especially when it's killing the game. Yeah. You can probably make a build with less than 10 on a certain descendant, but that's not the point. Yeah. I get what you're saying and I agree, but it's no fun finding yourself in an endgame run, having to res newbies half the time, stretching your run from 2 to 5 minutes or more. It's easy enough as a requirement to set up for endgame. Every mod slot should be filled. Well, you can fill it up with the level 0 version of the mod, and that's not going to fucking help you. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. Preach for preach, team synergy before purge is peak. I honestly feel the same. Got. Has TFD made it this far? Cal's the got. It's the community. They want everything without making any effort. It's the people that want other players to work for them, and as soon as the monsters don't die instantly, they quit. And if they go down and they're not revived, then they quit. If you're not helping killing monsters, then they quit. Yet most of the time, unless you've got a ultra fast descendant, yet you don't get to kill everything because other players have, there's no teamwork. Players want to kill everything themselves. I just run 400% playing catch up because one slight movement mistake and you aren't going to see another monster until the boss. It's all extreme. It's either you can't kill anything or you have to kill everything, and players quit at the slightest sign of challenge. The game does have big issues. I think the player mindset is worse. I've not even started on the social, racial aspects of the community and the chat. Yeah, 100%. Bro, there's so many racist people in this game. It's insane. How many times have you guys seen just like the N-word being used in world chat? Insane. A horrible word to use on just in general, but bro, the amount of people that just be racist in the game is fucking ridiculous, bro. I don't know whether it's a language thing, but surely they know. Surely they know, bro. Well, chat should alone have this game pulled for the internet. Yes, cooked. This is a looter game. A looter grind game, at least it has been. I like grind games, but I don't try to play this all day. Most day I play for about an hour, and I'm good with that. As long as I don't feel like I have the expectation of people needing to play most of that, I'm not looking to be top in any ranking. But you also kind of have to acknowledge the fact that other people will be like that. As long as I enjoy what I'm doing, then I will quit. When I'm not, that's fair. Right now, the clear focus on content is ancestor mods. I hate the way they work. You can spend a lot of time in them and still get nothing in return, which makes them not want to devote any effort into them. Fair, but at the same time, you can get, like, cooked. Yeah, what they say about Keelan is crazy. It is, you're right, bro. It is fucked. Logically, they will say returning forward and make a return on investment with them is so bad because of how they become. I can't bring myself to care about them. I either dismantle or just, not even get close to the most I get. This is the thing that I need to address with it and make it feel like it means something. But with the current focus on content being a system with horrible ROI, I'm just not motivated. Right, that's fine. Not being motivated for ancestor mods is absolutely fine. But this is the biggest thing, right? This is one of the biggest things, and this is going to make me sound like a prestigious cunt, okay? But I'm going to spit the facts here that no one wants to hear. You don't understand how broken ancestor mods are until you get a god roll. It's the same thing in Warframe. It's the same thing in the First Descendant. The moment you get your hands on a god roll and you see what that can do to your build, you are going to be like, what the fuck? And it becomes a power addiction. It does. I've spent I've spent thousands on bunny mods and thousands of British pounds, not thousands of caliber. Thousands of British pounds, like fucking upwards of 50 to 100,000 caliber just on bunny mods because I've got all of them now in terms of the collection. All of the non-crate, crate, fusion setup, singular setup, I have all of them because of how much I've spent. The moment you get a god ancestor mod, or even a cracked one, the amount of sheer ridiculous power you get on your character is going to make you want it more. And the biggest thing is that bro said he's just dismantling them. Bro, make some caliber out of them. People will buy unrolls for 10 caliber easily. Basically, any good ancestor mod will make your character wet. 100%. Bro, a god roll ancestor mod or a good ancestor mod can take your descendant, even right now in the current meta of this game, can take your descendant from tickling an elite to one-shotting an elite in a 4-man squad. That is how strong they are. And even if you're not keeping it, when it's cracked, you can sell it for thousands. GG. Yep. If people know what they are doing, you can sell ancestor mods for a lot. Professional tip, use my ancestor mod sheet, because I've updated everything to being the latest thing on this sheet. I've fixed it and made it even easier to read now, so you can see what style of build it is, whether it's a mobbing build, what you need is highlighted in red, ideal stats, written the perfect negatives over here, ideal trigger mods, and I update it constantly. If there's a build on here that's not on here that you want me to slap on, then just send me a message and I'll get it sorted, because I'm pretty sure I've done everything. I've done an entire dedicated sheet about each negative and how it works and what's good with each thing and so on and so forth. So check the description. If you want to see what your descendant's max crit rate is, if you've got a cool crit rate mod or a crit damage mod or whatever, then literally just check the crit rate sheet and I've calculated the max value for every single descendant with all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, literally just check my damn sheet. This sheet is my work of just fucking doing everything for you guys. So yeah, just use my damn sheet, please. Thank you. Exclamation mark ancestor in the chat, bro. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's fair. It's great that they reduce research time for cat lists. Not everyone has time to rework their build and probably run out of cats before the update. That's fair. That's fair. Eluding, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you, homie. When there was a bit of mechanics, people complain, but it's also the devs' fault. You don't put mechanics to grind, you do them for special rewards. 1400 hours into the game, I agree. All points with you, my friend. Appreciate it. It's always the players that are on the game non-stop complaining that there isn't enough content. I have to play about 1 or 2 hours a day, and sometimes I don't even play and I'm good with the amount of content they're bringing. This is cooked. The player base is already too greedy. The player base being greedy, yes, but content with the amount of content. Are you telling me that the one dungeon they bring with the sword, to get the sword 5 out of 5 fusions, it takes you 2 weeks? Nah, I don't believe that. He doesn't have the perspective of the scam that we feel. Bro, if you play this game, for even if you run the new dungeon for an hour, 2 hours, you are probably going to end up with 1 copy of the sword. Do that 3 or 4 more times, then you get cooked. The hype stuff up, we get 2 weapons, a Google Gaga rework. Yeah, true. And the thing is, right, a lot of these people as well probably still do rely on content creators for builds. There's nothing wrong with that. Whether they check me or other people out or whatever, you're still checking a content creator out and relying on them for builds. So, like, same time, I think people also need to acknowledge that this is my job and I have to fucking play the game to be able to test, optimize, and do everything for other people's sake as well. Essentially, I'm just a middleman, if you think about it. I basically just do all of the work, and then just give you the information and show what works, I guess. I don't trust some of the other content creators, though. I don't trust a lot of them. Like I said, out of all the content creators for this game, apart from myself, I trust 3 content creators. That is it. And it's probably not ones you're thinking of either. That's the thing. Man, TFD right now is all about grind, and after you grind it to upgrade your descendants, there's nothing to use them on. No content demands anything beyond lots of damage. Ancestors just help you do more than whatever you do. One thing I remember particularly about Warframe is different mods. The way that they change the way that you play in Warframe. TFD, they just change the abilities, but never how you play. Everything is just doing damage. I remember if there was mobs, if you locked them down, they wouldn't let you move. My beloved XMI. Depleted your MP. Fucking XMI. Or debuff you another way. It'd make builds more interesting and team comps too. Yeah. The enemy's silencing you, but it's not even significant. Lasts for 2 seconds and it's not continuous. For the sake of finishing the content, less than 5 minutes. Yeah. The 3 content creators Alyssa trusts. Not them ones. This game needs more difficult game modes with mechanics or raids, and it'll be interesting and hard to pass. I enjoyed leveling in the open world, make it useful. They don't want to make the open world useful. Before Season 3 came out, they said they want you to do nothing but Axion, and it stayed true till today. When I first started playing the game, the maps, the game's story and the atmosphere and the characters' individual stories were amazing, but the end game was terrible and repeat. The thing that impressed me most was Bunny and Dire's story. I hope they save this game. Fair. Purge gameplay looked very nice. So sad they nerf everything. That's a TFD. Got it. Not gonna lie, I've been so bored doing the same thing all in a row. Chilling with you all and jamming with friends has been, and talking shit is the only reason I've been playing TFD for so long. That's how you know someone's giving up. The fact that they can only enjoy the game with like streamer or with friends and stuff like that is like so cooked. I play for the love of ass and tits and mindless killing. That's enough for me, and that's more than what most games offer. Fair, I guess. You know, whatever helps you. Events, even as a new player, I feel the burnout you guys are talking about. I love the graphics, but the game genre is not what I'm hoping for. More stories and open world exploration would destroy the burnout. Maybe. I agree, and I'm not even playing that much besides dailies and weeklies. I'm bored. I've got no motivation to do everything because there's nothing to be done. I've got all Descendants built, all weapons built, and 340 cats. I have nothing to do with them, and the game is obviously in a deep crisis. The roadmap from 2026 doesn't look promising either. That's going to give us more of the same botch reworks, minuscule updates. Heck, they don't even want to listen and unlock all the 400% dungeons. That would be counterintuitive, though. The only reason people run every 400% dungeon is because they have to run one or the other. If they give you all of them, it would be nothing but Magister Labs again. A fun game, but doing the same thing 3 million times is not fun. Not to mention how heavy the system requirements are for this game. Bro, let's talk about optimization, bro. They do not optimize shit. The game is not optimized at all. People have played TFD and have everything unlocked, done on, however you want to put it. You beat the game. Go play something else until new content comes out. Yep. As a content creator, great idea. Content is lacking and I'm sure they are cooking, but that does take time for you to beat it in 5 seconds with the same setup. I love seeing cinematics where the story is going and I want that more than anything. The story since Axion has, since Season 3 has been getting better. TFD is a grind game. If you grinded everything and did everything you won, congrats. Jumping on TFD for a few hours to do some missions is getting a little bit stronger and at times getting carried by high level players just to get a little bit of boost is okay. I think it's unhealthy to grind this game non-stop because it's repetitive, slow, and the only rewarding to completionists in the long run. Okay, so you think it's unhealthy to play the game for a longer period of time, but if you're enjoying the game and, you know, yeah. Okay, let me come back to do the update, do everything to 1 to 5 hours and fuck off to another game. Great idea. Koreans never optimize their games? Yeah. Axion on release was crazy. Bro, Axion on release was a death trap. They've still not fixed Axion, by the way. It's still memory leaks. Inace can still memory leak. Daya still can. Nell still can. Freyna can. All the Descendants can. You know what the thing is? If it's like this, right? Then, bro, I can finish the update in like 4 hours and then go fuck off and play Crimson Desert, bro. That's legit what this guy is essentially saying. Because I complete the update probably the fastest out of like most people. And that's so cooked. Wanting to beat the new boss or unlock the new Descendant is the pause, but eventually it gets tiring, so taking breaks is a good thing. A lot of people just don't understand this from my perspective, do they? I don't have a choice. Like, okay guys, if you are a content creator for a game, right? And you have to make content to essentially keep your channel afloat and to provide people with something to see for the game, what in the fucking shit am I meant to do now? Bro, there's a reason I'm reading my comments. I don't know what to do. Most of it is on devs who can't balance without power creeping out of the galaxy, but what do you expect with players who didn't want to learn mechanics? No mission mechanics, no boss mechanics, just sit and die until someone breaks his immunity. There will be consequences. He is correct. Real? True. I have zero idea what he's talking about when it comes to Sharon, Glay, and Jaber. All mine still do the same DPS and wreck every content unless I'm getting his slang incorrect. And by nerf, he means nothing changed exactly. Except Blood and Iron slaughters everything around her, including mini-bosses. I mean, yeah, they're still strong Descendants, but, bro, they've been stronger is the main thing I would say. Put the fries in the bag? True. Unpopular opinion, I expect pushback, but honestly, it's with tact. I think the current state of the game is fine as is. Yes, the ability of one Descendant near broken level is welcome. Guys, is one Descendant being broken welcome? Just one. Just one Descendant being broken welcome, yes or no? He says he expects pushback, but you have to be aware one Descendant broken is a bigger problem than every Descendant broken. Which makes dungeons fast and not tedious. I hate to be that guy, but you can complete the dungeon just as fast just as fast with Lepic as you can with Serena. First Descendant is not a bad game, but the gameplay loop is brutally monotonous. Yeah, that's fair. The current state of the game is monotonously tolerable due to heavy grind that's compulsory to the game. Monetization remains egregious as ever. Play expression is a big deal in games, and there's no shortage of skins. A variety of colors that are one-time use for every skin is the same for Descendants. Colors in the game are a huge part of expression and costing a pretty penny if you play more than one character. The linear and monotonous gameplay loop, as mentioned, is the two biggest factors holding the game back. Yeah, the gameplay loop is fucking shit because you can't do anything, you can't nerf your characters, you can't buff and add mechanics, so what can you do? Add a lot of mechanical heavy elements regarding gameplay you talked about can be found in Destiny. Comparing these two games might be, and Destiny's superior. The game's already looking dead. The most annoying players are the ones who join public lobby and speedrun everything and don't give the others a chance to play. Why play public if you're not going to emote with me? Go play solo, you bad fashion. You know what? As soon as I'm done recording this video, we're going to go into public and we're going to go speedrun everything. Because I'm not emoting with this fucking goo gaga. I'm somewhere in the middle of what you're saying, because in my opinion, the first version of Purge was terrible. The game doesn't allow us to peek fire, crouch, block, and doesn't have invincible frames. Yeah, but you can roll, and you can jump, and you can grapple. There was options. If you don't use them, then that's on you. Enemies were incredibly tanky and would kill you in 1 or 2 hits. That's fair. It was impossible to hit them without getting hit back. Yeah, that was part of the challenge. Unless you get an infinite CC with Epic with the Albion Cavalry, which is boring as fuck after a couple of times, because it went from artificial difficulty to too easy. Don't use an Epic. They gave us the option to use ability-based characters instead of cycling legions, so we have to build different characters with different attributes, but they made it the same for every character. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was after another nerf. They didn't initially do that. And of course, I want to make missions as fast as possible. We need to do the same mission 300 fucking times. Or give us a 1000% modifier to do the mission without dying, without taking damage, without using the dog or some high risk, high reward and be more interesting because they're boring. They need to give us hard content and not artificially as the first form of Purge was. Give us mechanics or something that gives you more rewards. And keep releasing skins. And more revealing skins as much as they get until the game dies, which is kind of what they're aiming for, it seems like. Yeah, cooked. Pre-nerf Ines was great for Purge, she was. Besides for dailies and weeklies, there's nothing to do in this game. Personally, I don't think there needs to be nerf in the current state of Descendants, but there needs to be more content for sure. Second, I feel like the community in this game is about complaining enough that they don't have enough content, like asking for skins, like, come on. I see how this game is as a veteran Warframe player. TFD could be great if the developers think about how to make the game better. The need to nerf period is literally killing the game. That, the rest of the Lagunas, true. I play the game for the story, I bought some skins, but I don't care. Other TFD got it. I've been playing this game since the beta and genuinely love it. Between Xbox, PS5, I have over 4K hours. Shameful, I know. Valid. But this is the first update where I just don't care. Normally I buy the skins on the new stuff, but this time I've not even touched the new dungeon. I log in, chuck a catalyst on and get off instantly, which is odd because I really want this game to win, but I can't be asked doing the same thing 500 times with the same mediocre weapon. There's just better games out there. It's sad but true. They hope they fix it, but at the same time, it's easy as fuck and you do stuff again. No way to sugarcoat it. I would find myself building 60 characters, but there's nothing to do, and hopefully they add a raid or something with scaling difficulty that's endless mod. But yeah, edit xAlisa TFD. Literally, hit the nail on the head. Cyberfox is cracked. He's right. I think this game needs to be more story-driven. And maybe transition to character-specific missions as new content patches. That would also bring back soul into the game. Dire's story was really well done, and stories in general give meaning to grinding. Also, bosses inflicting huge debuffs on the meta ancestor. Mod builds could require you to team up with others to cover those weaknesses. That's cover the weaknesses was something that they should have done or had in Purge is the right way to look at it, in my opinion, at least. They had the opportunity to do this for a very, very, very long time. So that one is slightly cooked too. Okay, we've lost some of the comments. Uh-oh. Yep, we've lost some of them. Okay, give me a sec, guys. We're finding it. Yep, there you go. Also, a boss inflicting heavy debuffs on meta and mods would be cool. Maybe. Huge unavoidable attack like speed nerf requiring teams like a Luna to counterattack it. Having fixed Descendants in a squad is something people hate. We had that in Purge, and it fucked it. we ever want to fix TFD, we need to look at what the game wants to incentivize. That means accounting for player exploitation and optimization. Alyssa, I think ultimately you want TFD to be a team-based game with high build variety, difficult dungeons with mechanics that change bi-weekly, so that all get figured out in tandem chores, and boss with hard counter descendants that can currently do everything like Glare. A majority of the player base wants to run every dungeon 5 to 10 times to get the mods for their builds, so then descendant-specific stories, followed by short but challenging, mechanics-based dungeon, rotating by nerfly. Descendant nerfs could be a start to fixing the game. It could be. A lot of what I've said is probably already been tried and is old news. No, it hasn't. No, they've not tried a single fucking thing you've said. And what you've said is very promising. I still think we have to understand what we truly enjoy doing in this game, not what we said we wish was in this game. Also, others TFD, go ahead, comment. You should post this as a video for free content. I am. I'm recording. I have no faith in this dev team for the whole gameplay loop rework. And especially for the Descendants have been subpar recently. Yeah, literally. They should remove elemental resistance from the game. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. This is the best comment on this entire video. Oh my god, pesky VIP, my friend. What are you smoking? They should remove elemental resistance from the game. When they release a boss that's strong to a particular element, it's an attempt to get players to expand what they already have. This is nuts. No, it's not. You should be able to enter the game and build 1 or 2 players and go from there. Asking people to build and farm 20 characters at the cost of time is too much to ask. But they definitely need raids and clans. They need to work out the social aspect, clan rewards, raid communication, but you're right about the outfits. Okay. Let me just show you something, right? Let me show you something. This has to be rage bait. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What? This man wants every descendant to be able to do everything. This man wants every descendant to do everything. Motherfucker. Every descendant can do everything. Alright, guys, you know what? Let me show you something, right? Essentially, what he's saying is, what he wants is the equivalent of... Oh, nice, my bunny has a... Okay, give it a second. So, essentially, what he's saying is he wants the equivalent of a level 1 mob everywhere in the game. If you have a level 1 mob, no matter what you do, your damage on this mob is going to be fucking ridiculous. That was a 70 million condense. Like, bro, no matter what you do... Oh, wait, why am I using elemental resistance strip? I don't need that on a level 1 mob. Essentially, what bro wants to be able to do is... Let me just quickly fix my tree. I'll use this tree, even though it's fucked. Actually, let me just do this real quick. I'll use this tree, even though this tree is in a stupid state, right? So, essentially, what he wants is for you to be able to grab any descendant at level... any descendant, grab any amount of mobs, make the mobs as literally weak as possible, and then one-shot everything as possible, as quick as possible. In that one burst, I did 2.7 billion damage to all the mobs. There I did 3 billion damage to all the mobs. And you know what he's saying? If we remove enemy resistance, you will be hitting... You will literally be hitting billion plus. A billion plus damage on mobs. That would remove... It would remove defense neutralization. All of the mutant cells for stripping. It would also make... like, bro, this is so fucking cooked. This guy is... I don't know, bro. You know what else that would also mean? You know what else that would also mean? Everything would be the equivalent of level 1 mobs. That means Bunny could probably... like, 8 bunnies could probably kill Wallcrasher in like 1 second if they all do a crit electric condense on him. This is so cooked. Or if you want to use Serena with the level 1 mobs, look at what you can do with the Kingsguard Lance. Oh my god, we're doing over 1 billion damage. So if you want to hit... let's see how much damage I hit. Let's see how much damage I hit in 1 cast of KGL thing. Oh wait, I'm going to run out of MP. Alright, with Serena, just 1 cast of her 4th ability will give you 350 billion damage on a regular mob. This is fucking cooked. What you would have to do to make this comment work is you would have to buff every health or all the health on every single mob by like a few billion. You'd have to give every like trash mobs a billion. A billion. You'd have to give them a billion health at least. That is so fucking dumb. That might be the stupidest comment I've seen in this game. Because you can do... Oh, I'm so glad they don't do surveys. They do, by the way. Oh my god, this is so cooked. What did people respond to him? Only one bill? Okay, I can't see the responses. Right. I love the game, but I'm getting bored. Fair. Alyssa, my king? That's all you, bro. Devs are considering this as we speak. Please don't tell me they are. And also, Papa, I don't think it'll be good where we don't use battering ram anymore. Yeah, that's cooked. Even trigger mods, they get cooked too. So bad. They continue to listen to idiots. They do. I don't give a fuck if it's rage bait or not. If the devs were to see that shit, they're gonna think that this... If they were to ever do that, they'd gut this game like a fish. They would. The comments here are special, to say the least, but the guy is right. Even for newer players, it's super easy to catch up on all content that's been drip-fed since release. I'm ML31 and I can't be bothered to check which descents I didn't level up because I got to get the ML points before I deleted them. The game still feels good and the graphics are good, but the repetition kills it within 30 minutes. No new goals, a part of the F4TM grind, and balance is still a joke. Can't believe they approved Dire in our current state, but whatever. I like the dungeon layout. There's no risk or challenge anywhere, which is what makes it so boring. I'll choose to spend my precious time somewhere else. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, VS a rework? Why she already hits like a truck? He doesn't know. Oh man. Is he finally going to give his review after 12k hours on how it's a terrible game? I get my popcorn. Ooh. According to the Gooners, nothing's wrong with the game, but we see the decreasing amount of players overall. Each update, do weeklies, pop-off has been my loot for the last 2 months, and this game is cooked. Yeah. One example is the Lunar Toenail question. Caliber in Europa. Caliber in Europe is so expensive. 20 euros for 1000 C. Please nerf the price. One skin is 20 euros is ridiculous. 10 euros can be a good price for 1000 caliber. I'd love to get the caliber. I'd love to get the music money back that I've spent on if it gets doubled. I don't think there's a lack of content. Okay. Let's hear him out. I think a lot of it is there's a lot to do, but it all feels the same. There's already too many characters / descendants that play too similarly that are not just viable or fun. Every descendant is viable. Every descendant can be fun. Enemy AI is non-existent, so no challenge. True. You run in gun / skills blazing in the most mindless repetitive way to make things worse. It's easy to memorize enemy spawn patterns and turn your brain off after memorizing a dungeon. There's a lot of RNG when it comes to items, but barely any randomization when it comes to dungeon layouts and enemy spawns and attack patterns. The problem is more than fundamental than anything else. Adding more content will result in the same loop since launch. You just play the same new crap over and over until you hate it and complain that there's nothing else. Yeah. Let's DFD, got it. I remember in the beginning when you had to parkour different stuff and mods. Very diverse. Everyone in the community hated it, so they took it all out. So what you got left is what we have now. So the same community is now complaining after they wanted it all gone. Quite literally, yeah. Out of line but valid still. He's got a point, but I think the first statement is a little bit cooked. But this one is very real. People complained about like mechanics and 250% and lasers and all this shit, right? So they never ever brought it back, and now people have just been fucking begging for mechanics. I will get on my knees to beg for mechanics right now, bro. Give me, please give me mechanics. I beg you, give me mechanics. Making players collect a bunch of items over different maps would be more fun than grinding a new map 50 times. You can do that. You quite literally can do that. If you don't want to run Harris Dungeon, if you don't want to run Supermassive, you don't want to run Forbidden Sanctuary, you don't want to run Vessel, just get your blueprints, get the fuck out there and run Axion instead. Especially at the rate of Axion as well. 2 hours in Axe Converter, especially with a good team of getting consistent under 1 minute runs, you will literally have enough resources for one sword or one Eugen or one Harris after 2 hours, bro. You get sick of doing the same map week after week until it's repeated as a new map. You can't enjoy maps because the grind makes them boring. Good point. Skin development and in-game development are run by 2 different departments. Both departments don't interfere with each other or affect what gets released. Problem with TFD is that during the live streams, they aren't showing the players the in-game development process of new mods. Even if the new content isn't 1000% out of a perfect state, They need to be more transparent and show the players what the development stage is during the live stream, and have more of a deeper conversation about new content instead of we're just developing it. See, this is a fair comment. This is a good point. If they were to actually show us like the behind the scenes of building stuff and what they are trying to do and what they are doing, that would be a better idea. But then they just focus on gooning. And the thing is, right, majority of the people who watch the dev streams probably tug off 16 times a day before the dev stream. Then when the dev stream starts, they're probably tugging that shit anyways. And then they start gooning to the skins in the stream as well. Remember, do you want to know the biggest example of gooners? The worst example I can give you of this game, right? Yeah? Remember when they announced for the first time they're nerfing an ace? Remember for the first time when they announced we're nerfing an ace and Inez is getting rebalanced with her fourth ability, will be torn back, we will be removing line of sight, and then straight after they were getting spammed with L's, bad, you're gonna kill the game. They showed jiggle physics for the first time and everyone went fucking ballistic. Everyone forgot that they're gonna nerf Ines. That's how horny people are in this game, bro. They showed jiggle physics right after announcing the Ines nerf and people forgot that Ines is getting nerfed. And then everyone was like, wow, that dev stream was so good. It's even more embarrassing when the devs are gooning on a live stream. Yeah. Remember the old friendly release trailer? Yeah. Yeah. I only play for jiggle physics. Guys, can we ban him? Then Serena came back. Ines got nerfed. That wasn't even a nerf. That's the funnier part. You know, Ines is rebalanced. Unless DFD got it. In the end, there's no point of constantly trying to ride a dead horse. I mean, you can pretend to have fun because of dedication and yada yada, but that'd be hypocrisy. Just simply play what you enjoy. I do enjoy this game. Like, a lot of people are under the conception that I hate TFD and I don't love the game. I still love it. Even if I'm shitting on it, even if I'm fucking complaining about it, I still enjoy the game. I can lock the fuck in and do good on the game, right? By the way, raids will not save this game because party finder features as a gaming society have lost the ability to actually make friends in online games. It's just the minimum 4-minute speedruns. It's sad, but yeah, also true. Bro, if I am talking about TFD and posting TFD, it's because I still fucking care about the game, you Google gagas! I want it to do good, and a lot of people do not want it to do good in the long term. Love the video on the last part too. A couple of issues with your argument. It's going to be long, I guess, but I'll be mentioning a lot of Warframe. That's fine. I played Warframe for 10 years before getting permanently banned because they didn't like a YouTube video I posted. So, yeah. Not because of similarities, but because it's my main game and I have a lot of hours on it. So I'm saying this from before even Excalibur Prime days. Should say roughly how much time. Damn, bloody Crow locked the fuck in. Alyssa hates the game, let's be real. Yeah, I fucking hate Reddit as well. Full of goo gagas. Alright, number one, I get what you're saying. Content is not much different. Hell, from alpha beta days, it's changed. But it's still, the core gameplay hasn't changed, not one bit. Communities are shit everywhere. Warframe has crap people, so no way around that. My main gripe with TFD is that it's dug itself on the ground. Nexon did not adapt and kept pushing characters. It's not a player issue. It's the fact that the game, same thing happened to the game, what happened to the Division. Another bullet/skill sponge. Another point, what I pointed out is that Warframe and other games are just akin, changed, but some as a lot of others. Warframe changed quite a lot. Number two, team players and synergy, mechanics and grinding. If you happen to play Warframe, you'll know what the games of Farming Galore and the Division are the same. When the whole game revolves around it just to make some money from players, more or less, it's a point into milk players, but some companies respect you more, some less. Nexon do not fucking respect you. Nexon do not fucking respect you. Oh my days, that far. And Digital Extremes don't respect you the moment you have to deal with their support, but Warframe respects you more as a player compared to Digital Extremes. Warframe respects you more as a player compared to TFD in terms of time to grind and stuff. But players wanting to run their good and bad builds and test them out in public isn't a bad thing. That's fair, but they shouldn't be doing it in the absolute top tier of content. If you can't run a build in solo, you shouldn't be running it in public. That's my rule of thumb, I guess. Shobi may have a bad day or two on Distum, even though that's acceptable, but saying they should not play altogether. Not in the highest tier of content, but that's just my take at least. This seems more like gatekeeping by saying, hey, you noob, get the fuck out. My point is that they'll fail so much to learn eventually or leave the game. Also, not everyone wants to gacha min-max their characters due to how much time it can take. There's no gacha in this. Maxing a character out can take 1 hour if you do it optimally, or if you don't do it optimally, 2 or 3 hours. That includes 10 catalysts and a trigger mod. Arcade tuning, 2 hours, 3 hours if you do it unoptimally, 1 hour if you do it optimally. So again, 2-3 hours. 4, 5, 6 hours to invest in a character properly, I don't think is too much of an ask. Again, if you don't optimize your time, you can't complain about how stuff is done. If you're not doing what is best for you in the game, then you are kind of wasting your own time. Kind of. Team synergy, something you mentioned, that'll hardly happen once, in my opinion. That can only happen in 1 or 2 ways. Either all your friends play the game and each other know their role spectacularly well, which is exactly what happened when myself, Tunde, Apocalyptos, and Magister ran breach tracking together. We got some of the fastest runs I've ever seen in the game. Like, crazy times. To the point where if you compare a normal lobby time to the times we were getting, we could run the dungeon twice before people finished it once in breach tracking. And I'm talking about the long tile sets too. Or if you have a clan or group that does the same. Another unlikely way is to get caught somehow, but that's unlikely unless money is involved. That's fair. As for grinding, all down the games akin to TFD is that you need to grind because the RNG is shit. They want you to put the time in and money. Hell, Warframe can be much worse. Fair. Guys, who knows about, the Lato Vandal in ESO? Oh yeah. I farmed 3 sets of them, by the way. I'd say much so with the latest updates. I won't say how long I had to ground for the Bullfrog back in Division 1, but that's the issue. It's been the exact same shit in TFD. Same enemies, same debuff, same screens, and you have to repeat the same 400% at the 100th time. You may just want to shut your brain off completely, which is understandable. And to be honest, you mentioned something about this around the 9 and 10 mark. Right, this is fine. RNG being shit in the game is acceptable because that is the main point. The whole point of a looter shooter is you sink your time in so that once you get your thing, it's like, holy shit, this is good. But the trade-off also needs to be is that the weapon needs to actually be good, which is something they can't do because of Serena. Let's take an example from Warframe. When you go into a mission, you may start from the same place or you may not. You may go through the same path. It's unlikely. There's a few permutations that you'd go through saying, haha, I've been here before, but there's some landmarks you recognize, but the tile set will change every single time. Whenever you run Hepit in the Void, you most likely don't get the same tile set, same time, or twice in a row. The infinite tile set stuff is so good on Warframe because every single time it's different. If TFD had a different tile set almost every time, 5 different paths on Magister Labs, 6 different paths here, 6 different paths there, in like almost every piece of dungeon, TFD would feel a million times better to play. A million times better to play. Speedrunning would be different as well. It'd be such a different game if they had infinite or rotating tile sets. It would be so good for the game. Even one simple change. But they can't be asked making more than 1 tile set, so why would they? Hell, even the mods are kind of shit. You know, Conclave. I love Conclave. They tried with Vessel and they dropped the idea too fast for no reason. Yeah. Vessel 1 was shit in general, though. That's the thing. Imagine if Vessel 2 had 2 good tile sets, bro. Holy shit. Changing the boss fight, which is shit. Having bullet sponges, I know it's sad, but it's not matter. Let's do examples. There's an Alto Lich in TFD, right? Oh yeah, the shield mobs, the Eczema and stuff like that. You need to destroy the shields to damage him. There's one in Warframe. She's called Kayla. Oh, Kayla's fight is peak. You know, you've shit. What did she used to say? You should consider yourself lucky to have your heads torn off by the Kayla. That thing, my goat right there. Even Kayla, before you go into the fight, all players need to stand on the circle and shoot the spinning target. Just use the Igneous Wraith because it worked the fastest every time. But, you know, mechanic to even get in the boss fight, oh yeah. There's a whole mechanic to damaging it, but the fight's interesting. Same with all the bosses in Warframe. Who remembers the Jackal before when you could one-shot him? Every boss in Warframe has mechanic. Lephantis has you can only shoot his weak points. Jackal has you can only do X amount of damage. You have to grapple hook him. Eidolons, you have to get the Eidolon laws. The first Jackal was so quick. It was. Eidolon, you need to get the laws. You shoot the weak point. You have to go into your human tenor mode or your operator, destroy him with the amp, and then destroy his weak points and do so on and so forth. You need to get the right amount of laws. You need to go put your shards in the totem. There's a lot to do, man. It's so good. And shotguns having bullet sponges, that's also on them. Not on the players too, but maybe a bit, but they should push for different mechanics instead of complaining. Guys, imagine if quick time events were in TFD, bro. Imagine. Crazy. repeats and stuff, but updates and character. No arguments here. Nexon's fucking it up with their updates. Loving Ace and SMGs and TFT myself, but it reminds me a lot like Nova. Nova used to be so good, bro. The Nova's in the best state ever right now, though. But yeah, played Warframe 3 months and I'm in the same boat in Warframe. 1 hour of TFT and nothing else to do in the game. That's fair. Which is my main. Valid. A Nova enjoyer. I was a Wisp enjoyer. I don't understand how they can fuck it up so much here. It used to be a lot of mobile lol. Mindset we need to nerf just do 1 or 2 buffs to a character like DE does to Warframe. They've been taking their sweet time with reworking their frames, but imagine Viestra or Lepic completely changing their whole skill set. This is what I'm saying, man. Instead of just change the red mod, bro, imagine if they completely rework their abilities, every single one of them. So good. But using a Transcendent just to change a buff or degrade them, create new ways to play them since they've been out, could use a change in a while. That would be so good. Rework everything in about a year or two and 1 or 2 new Transcendents for every single Descendant over the course of a year would be better. Even a survival mod, something really basic in these kind of games, but Warframe does it amazingly. Or survivals, but you end up having bullet sponges after 2+ hours is the upside, knowing that you'll get so many resources. Yeah, that's kind of what Onslaught I'm hoping is, but we really don't know what Onslaught's going to be at this point, so I'm really just hoping for the best. There's going to be a long VOD, it will. But I guess if anyone's dropped a comment on this video, I guess they'll probably be looking out for themselves. We'll see though. But yeah, some good defense in TFD. Complaints on community rewards and timing. I think you go over it around 12-13. I feel you, but again, some of what I mentioned previously, you ran the same mission for 1,000 times. Having the same enemies, debuff, vessel, erosion, same plane mission. You did it for 4K hours. Some people do it for less or even more in other games, but hardly everyone will do it. So you have to see the same exact thing again. It's like looking at a spreadsheet, same thing, same day, same name. Over and over again, and grinding next on Magnum and TFD is annoying. Warframe has something similar, and some items are annoying to get, but once you figure them out, they're easier. And they can be funnier since you have mechanics like fishing and mining. Bro, mining is so fun in Warframe, man. Some of the caves they've got in Eidolon are so peak. Fishing, you know Ivara with the dash wire, sitting on Eidolon with the fishing rod? Got it experience. Hey, do this, and 400% could be hacking QTE, click. Bro, even a quick time event, just pressing the button at the right time would probably be too hard for these players. I'm not even taking the fucking piss. Or having the enemies with the same buffs and debuffs of me routed. Variety is a huge issue in this game. The game is so good and has some good gooning, or a lot of it, like quite a lot. Has some great mechanics and great variety. Has been killing it, to be honest. It's suffering from things I've seen in Division. The game's good, but the variety is shit. Bullet Sponge still ongoing, but putting it nicely when you said TFD suffers from the shallow loop is good, because that's what you mentioned. I mentioned, having said that, I don't expect this game to do what Digital Extremes did with Warframe, and I hope they don't do what Ubisoft did with Division, but it seems to be going that way. This is probably one of the best fucking comments on this video. Holy essay for one, but this man cooked so much with this, it's insane. Nearly every underbuilt trainer I've seen is rocking Contagion with Infected Weapon. When Contagion cuts your damage in half in the endgame, because your force can nuke everything. There's no depth to the game. True. Casuals ruined this game 100%. Hate to say it, but yeah. Because you snitches cry about everything being too OP and it gets nerfed, and people never come back. I've never, ever cried. And you snitches. You fucking snitches. How bad you cry about everything being too OP. Motherfucker, I've complained about Serena being OP. I went with my fucking big balls out, and I said, nerf Serena on fucking stage on their first anniversary, and I probably got blacklisted on this fucking, I've probably got blacklisted by the devs since that point onwards, bro. Balance is such an essential thing in this game, and so many people don't recognize it. You can have your power fantasy, but fucking build up to it, you bum. You goo goo gaga. This game is cooked. Skins will become even more depraved as time goes on, and the same boring gameplay loop. This game could have been a very strong Warframe contender, but oh well. It still can be, man. It still can be. I don't think anything they take from Warframe will help TFD. The one thing Warframe has an endless mod to use Amorphous later on. Maybe Archimedean would be cool, but what would the weekly reward be? One Ancestor mod! Sorry, but most TFD players can't handle mechanics. We're talking about people that force suboptimal builds into every piece of content. This could be due to real money spent in microtransactions, or simply too lazy to build Descendants. and have the right options for every job. They'll stand in one spot, wait for the enemies to spawn, and wait. Even if other players are waiting, even though spawns in 5 different players, based on my experience, majority of the players are absolute bots and would be a liability in raids. I think that ship has sailed. Yeah. There's no other way they can get 30k players to come back for an event either. 30k for an event? Fuck no. But if they actually start cooking and doing genuine good updates and start changing this game for the better, there is a chance. There is a chance. Okay? I'm gonna say that there is a chance. Okay? Dead game, shut the fuck up, bro. Alright, this is not fun anymore, man. Can't this be like Final Fantasy 14 or Ragnarok? There's more things to do that will give you something, but it's just a gacha game. He's not gacha. It has very, very, very heavy gacha elements, but it's not an actual gacha. I doubt it'll change. I like when content is best for certain descendants, like Sharon for Outposts, ends off for vaults and stuff. Yep, but fuck that, because you want every single descendant to do every single thing. It's so cooked, because if you think about it, from the beginning of the game all the way to the end, you can do the game solo with every single descendant if you just know what to do. Borderlands 2 and 3 have more content than this game. You still playing this, bro? If you want more content, Crimson Desert has content. Stop wasting your time with this game. Let's be honest, this game's circling the drain. Yeah. Something like that. I ain't waiting for Season 4 to see what happens. Wait, he's got Jun as his profile picture. What a giga chad. I'll wait for Season 5. If they take a page for DE again, Gouda skins ain't helping the game. They rarely have endgame content or descendants as powerful. Warframe did this too. The frames started taking off as strong as DE. The more content got released, the more OP they can. They fixed it by adding endgame content that pushes your builds. I love when I leave one enemy behind, move forward, kill things faster, and my 3 randoms get in the 1v3 with that one mob. Yeah. Not gonna lie to you, as a Blair man, I was not loving original Purge. I'm gonna be real with you. The original Purge was not meant for every character because it was hell for me. Yeah, you're playing Blair. That's your fucking problem. You're playing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ross playing Blair. And he's saying I didn't like original Purge. I'm sorry, man. You know what? Blair's Gunner build wasn't utter shit. It was okay. I disagree. Current content is far more problematic than the lack of future expectations. Living inside this shooter in essence is a superhero game and not a shooter anymore. The gameplay loop is very inconsistent because of power creep. Movement, traverse speed is completely uncertain for a casual player. Okay, listen. If you can't fly with Serena and grapple, then learn the grapple flick. That is it. I think even casual players can do the grapple flick, right? The grapple flick is like the most simple trick for movement, and it makes your gameplay so much better. I'm not asking players to speed dash on their bike, jump, and then frame after pull Serena wings out and get the perfect flying. But what I'm saying is you should at least be able to press F, or I don't know what the bind is on controller, L1 and R1, or left trigger and right trigger. Yeah, this is cooked. This is actually cooked. Anyone can take care of movement if you learn it. Take your time. L1, R1. Yeah, got you. Thank you, Perk. Listen, anyone can do movement. Just learn it. Take your time and learn it, and you're literally sorted. That is it. Just sort it. Just learn it, sort it. If you're not willing to learn it, then stop being goo goo gaga. Whether I get to contribute and kill something, I'm not inclined to play a game where the actual gameplay eludes me unless I take very specific stats like building a stat stick with movement modifiers and whatnot. I could, but I don't want to. So what you're saying is you want to be slow. You want to be slow. If you don't... yes, they are. You are literally saying you want to be slow and then you want other people to wait for you. Don't make me play the game. Cooked. Yeah, this is this community is fucking doomed. This community is actually doomed. Because what do you mean? actually, what do you mean? I'm so confused. But what do you actually mean? You want people to be... You don't want to build a stat stick. And then... The gameplay design is genius on one hand if you'd expect from Asian devs, but it's deeply dysfunctional for co-op play. No, it's not. Just fucking move. Bro. Okay. Every Descendant has such high speed buffs in their weapons or in their abilities because of players like this. No hatred towards you or anything, but good God, bro. Good God. Holy. If one player can do everything faster and better on his own, there's no need for co-op. Wait till he finds out what solo players can do. Bro wants Akil, Serena, or Bunny to run over like a headless chicken. No, he wants to run like... He wants to run like Nell, and he's gonna be sad when the Bunny and the Serena, like, just speedrun everything. This is cooked. You know what? I'm gonna say Anthem was a better game than TFD ever was, even with all of its problems. Copy him. This game is shallow and boring. The gameplay has a Dark Souls vibe, but yes. What Dark Souls vibe? I don't mind low-level players. I was once, but I do mind playing with them now, though. Mission complete by the time he leaves the spawn. He spawns in and, you know, teleports to the boss fight. Well, these casuals trying to call cap, but the real one knows you speaking facts. This game's got to shift gears quickly or we're going to blow the engine. True. TFD and Dark Souls in the same sentence? Yeah, I don't know about that one, boss. Now you're talking rage just like Destiny. Normal then hard, master rank level. Even as a new player, I feel the burnout you guys are talking about. Wait, I'm pretty sure I saw this. Are there any more new comments? No, TFD is losing players because of Warframe. Yeah, this is cooked. You know what? The Kingsguard Lance video is also another interesting comment section too, you know. The Kingsguard Lance video I released as well. The fact that saying Kingsguard is a problem because of how fucking oppressive it is. The comments on this one are fun too. If players want kills, they can stop crying and go private. Yep. Nothing needs a nerf. Just stop min-maxing everything and then complaining after. Why would you handicap yourself if you can max out investment? And the troll gun has replaced Jabber. Cloaked. The problem is that this buff is only for a gun descendant. It's not a gun descendant. It's literally just for Serena. This is what the devs intended. They don't test. I'm glad Glay got nerfed because she was outshining Daya. If they tested, pretty much. Quit. Yeah, people would quit. If you go into Glay, if you go into pubs with a Kingsguard Lance with Serena and annihilate everything, people will quit on you. Happened to me a few times. I've seen a few crashes, but I've seen more quits than crashes. The constant power creep and the devs being allergic to nerfs is what kills this game. Yeah. It's cooked. I don't look at solo most times and the devs just don't want to balance anything. I thought there was hope, but it doesn't look like that. Yeah. This video should be named the Serena problem, but I understand it wouldn't get the same traffic. Good on you for not just trashing KGL when the bigger problem is Serena's 4 and 2 combined. Don't min-max the gun. Don't redeem the... I've done everything in the game right now. To make missions, I'm okay. Faster with, I'm okay. The lead director has so much pride he can't admit what fucking mess he's made out of the game. Poor. It's not Grey or any other Descendants, so they didn't do shit about it. Only Serena can be broken. Rampage got a significant nerf, but at the same time, buffing weapons, knowing how strong Serena is. Yeah, I see it. Sorry, Aguna game. I can't wait for Onslaught to be trivialized with her with this gun. True. This is similar to OG and Ace, but much stronger. These devs are biased as fuck. Everyone saw Serena would break the game forever a year ago, but instead of fixing her, they decided to nerf Glay and Ace instead. It's not looking good, bruv. Yeah. Yeah, this is cooked. I went in public with an Ace and I happened to find Serena with Kingsguard Lance and I couldn't even get one kill. Yeah, that's how it be, bro. Yeah, the first step would be nerfing weapons. Yeah, this is like actually so cooked though. Bro, just in general, so many people in this community cannot handle changes in this game for the better of the game. I've got a notification, but I can't see it. But yeah. Just, bro, nerfs in this game need to happen for the sake of the game. But a lot of people will disagree with that. Bro, I have been here for 2 hours almost going through my comments. This game is so cooked, bro. This game is actually so cooked. I was expecting this to be like under 2 hours, and I guess I was kind of right, but holy shit. Who's that with the black sweater? That's the developer. That's the fourth dev. We found the secret one. Oi, 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 oi. This game needs, this game needs help. Then, do you want to know what the final thing is, guys? Unironically, right? Do you want to know what the final thing is? The final thing is this post I made the other day. I made this post on YouTube saying, what do you think about TFD as of right now? With 1,000 votes on this poll, these were the options. You pretty much ignore the game until an update drops. It's something that you want to play and put more time into, but there's not very too much to do. The game's on a decline and you're not sure if it's worth it anymore, and you've given up and you're probably going to uninstall. 710 people, or around 710 people, said they want to do more in the game. 120 people said they ignore the game. 13%, 130 said they ignore, they're not sure if the game's worth it. And 40 people said they've completely given up. For some reason, all of the comments on this were saying that, why are these all so negative? This is not negative. There's nothing wrong with not playing the game until an update drops. Wanting to play the game more is not negative as well. On a decline and you're not sure if it's worth it is kind of in the middle. And then completely giving up is negative. A lot of these people saying that they're still really enjoying the game, so I'm just going to assume that a lot of these people are more casual players, and just the fact that they're nowhere near endgame or haven't caught up or fixed anything properly straight up yet. Because a lot of people, like anyone who's actually made it to the end, will just know that, like, yeah, this is kind of cooked. But yeah, a lot of these things that I've seen on this as well is people are very mixed with the way that they play the game. And honestly, I want to be able to sink and fucking live in this game. I can already do that. Breach tracking is enough for me. Give me more tile sets in breach tracking. Give me better Colossi fights. Give me more shit to farm, and I'll eat it every single fucking day of the week, right? But long term, they really need to start thinking about the future of this game. The game's been out for almost 2 years now, and it's getting to a point where now they need to start cementing their groundwork and expanding upon it. Reworking a Descendant a month is fine. One dungeon a month is a little bit less than I'd like to see, but we'll see how it goes with Onslaught. Content basically being revisited for nerfs and stuff as well is a very big step backwards as well. Please stop fucking nerfing content, especially with how hard Descendants get buffed. Players need to step up and rise to the game instead of having the game decline itself to match where TFD is at in itself, is the way that I would describe it best. But fuck me. If you made it this far in today's video, if you made it this far in today's video, comment Serena. Thank you guys for watching. Holy long ass stream. Fuck me. Oh, it's gonna be cool. The devs are damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. Yeah, pretty much. Whew. Alright, I'm actually ending the video now.